I noticed it's a huge trend right now for a lot of people to be cutting off their parents.
Realize, like you said, some traumatic experiences do help you become a better person.
Actually had a bunch of businesses that never took off, bro.
In life, we all don't feel like we're ever there yet.
Right.
The environment you created right here was something I was like, all right, like I want to be there.
Okay.
Like, do you like what you wake up to do every day? What if you would have never left that company? Keep your head down, don't believe in yourself, continue this path because they taught me just to work hard and you'll get there.
But you know how strong resistance is, bro.
Yeah.
It's able to start fucking wars. So welcome back, guys. This is episode 3. I'm here with my boy Joey Maqueda. He's a guest that I'm having on the pod today for episode 3. So I finally found a name for the podcast. I didn't want to think too much of it just because, like I was telling you earlier, I didn't want to niche down and just make it just barber centered, right? Like I definitely wanted to reflect what I believe in, which is at the core, which is mindset, entrepreneurship, doing the things that you definitely know you can do, but you don't want to do it for whatever reason. But what do you think that is, Joey? Like, what do you think a lot of people don't want to, like they know what they want to do, but they don't do it for whatever reason? Like, what is your philosophy behind the mindset and what it actually takes to do the things that you're set out to do in this world?
Oh man, that's I guess that's interesting because everybody, I guess.
Take your time. Take your time.
I guess everybody, in order to get to where they want to go, you gotta, I guess, focus on like what it is that gives you purpose, man. Because in order to be dedicated, committed to what you're doing, look what you're doing right here, right?
Right. I mean, this obviously didn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
Let's put that out there. This did not happen overnight. Oh shit.
Yeah.
I guess we're not gonna do that. Technical difficulties. Hold on. Let's take this off this thing real fast. Wait, I'm gonna bend that shit. Pause. They didn't say that this was gonna happen.
It's all good.
Ever.
Hey, it's part of the show.
It's part of the show. You guys are getting a little icebreaker.
Yeah.
A little icebreaker.
There you go.
A little icebreaker. So that happened actually before we're gonna start. So I probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, we just gotta find a different
approach.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna get a I guess the farther I go. Oh shit. Continue recording. Yeah. So hold on. I think it's going now. No, it's not. There we go. I think. Yeah. Okay. So now we're back. This is the second mic that I'm using to capture two pieces of audio just in case one fails. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Like, this didn't happen overnight. The shop didn't happen overnight. Me charging $75 to $100 a haircut did not happen overnight. And like you're one of those testaments to that. Like a lot of people would say you're fucking crazy for paying $100 a haircut. So I guess my question is to you, like, what value do you see in paying that much for a haircut?
I mean, it's like it's the value of you, man. It's kind of like I guess with in the same world of sales, like a good salesman, will you all either want to buy from him or not buy from him, depending on what you feel in their presence. Like, like with you, it's like you are your selling point. Your presence, the environment you create for them. Like for me, it was
okay. Okay, so
aside from your gray hair, like your skill, man. Aside from your skill, it's everything else. Because
it's more like a package deal.
Oh, 100%.
It's a package deal.
For me,
The reason why I asked is because I'm sure you've heard it too. There's a huge controversy behind. It's just a haircut,
Yeah.
For me, I definitely think that if it were just a haircut, then you would go to Supercuts.
Oh, of course.
I mean, it's 9 times out of 10
there's nothing wrong with them,
There's
whatever.
Nothing wrong with no. There's nothing wrong with Supercuts. There's nothing wrong with Supercuts at all. I mean, if a lot, believe it or not, but a lot of people just want to look like they got a haircut. They don't care about that type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But there's certain people like yourself that actually care about the conversation, the quality of the service,
the passion you put into it,
exactly.
All that.
It's not just like, okay, we're here 30 minutes.
No,
it's not like that.
Yeah,
it's not like that. When barbers that do that, it definitely does give a bad rep. I can see that. I can
It's
definitely see
like
that.
it feels like you're just well, technic. You know, when I was first going through haircut places, you know, before I know it felt like you're just on a conveyor belt. You know, waiting for the next. You know,
Yeah,
just you're the next cut, the next cut, the next cut, whatever. You know, you go in line, you walk in, all that whole ordeal is kind of yeah, man. I didn't like it because my time was always everywhere. You know, I didn't know
Yeah,
when I was
no,
available,
and
what time, all that.
100%, dude, and I at least for me, like I put myself in my client's shoes a lot of the times where it's like, okay, I know for a fact if I'm busy all the time, the last thing on my mind is a fucking haircut.
Yeah.
It's just and I'm a barber, so I know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
because 9 times out of 10 when I'm when it's a busy weekend with holidays, whatever busy week or whatever, I'm the last person that gets a haircut
Man.
if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, because you got to juggle. I mean, well, family, your business, everything else you're trying to create. You know.
That's an understatement, bro.
Yeah.
That's a definite understatement. Like I definitely think people forget that barbers have an outside life than just cutting hair.
Yeah.
And this is another reason why I wanted to do the pod because um, it's different. Yeah, I post content. I mean, you see my
Yeah.
content,
It's
right? But
good content. Yeah.
at the end of the day, that only tells so much of my story.
Yeah.
I have a lot more to share, and I definitely feel like I can make connections with what I'm trying to say.
Mm.
I mean, like as far as like motivating other people, like I'm sure you've been there, right? Where like you don't want to do something, but fuck, I have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so, like
Of course.
I know, right? I know, right? I know, right? So,
Yeah.
so I guess for the next question I have for you is like, how do you find like the motivation to like just get up every day and just I'm gonna do this and this is what's gonna happen.
Oh man. I mean, aside from
Just doing it.
just doing, I mean, we gotta pay our bills and shit, you know. But aside from that, you know, it's still gotta be like, do you like what you wake up to do every day? You know, do you like it? Do you love it? Do you want to like become better? You know, so to speak. You know, and every morning, you know, I guess if we don't really wake up and say, hey, I want to, you know, perfect whatever it is I'm doing or
Right.
become a better version of myself, you know, like whether it's physically, mentally, or emotionally, you know.
100%, 100%. I agree with that. Like I definitely practice. I definitely practice a lot of self education outside the shop. Like I don't just cut hair. Like I definitely want to.
Like the books you read, you know.
Yeah, man. A lot of people don't realize that a lot of my self improvements and a lot of my success came from obviously not. It's not gonna happen if you just read a book. First of all, let's put that out there.
No, well, of course not.
it's
Like
not. It's not. Let's put that out there.
Yeah.
Just because you read a book does not necessarily
No.
mean it's gonna happen from no. It's not what it means. But it does. It does something to your subconscious, in my opinion. Some certain things are gonna stick with the book, and some things are just not. It's just a given. You know. But I do practice a lot of self education aside from business and stuff like that because I want to make myself. I definitely want to make myself valuable and learn a different skill to coach others to eventually grow from behind the chair and not cut hair because I have to, but because I want to.
Yeah.
And I think that's a huge
Big
mindset
difference.
shift.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it, bro. I mean, is there and that goes with anything. I'm sure you would want to work because you want to, not because you have to.
Like, I guess the people you meet along the way, you know, that's what makes, at least in my,
100%. That's the reason why I want to join the pod because there was this one video that I seen on your TikTok. I was like, okay, this guy has a voice. I gotta give him a voice on the pod. I gotta give him a voice on the pod.
That.
So like, what is like one of the biggest adversities you had to face, like from where you started to where you are today?
Man, I mean,
like what is one thing you can tell your younger self? Like,
oh man, that's different. That's
a different story.
Yeah, it's a different story now. Yeah, because I mean, in life, you know, we all don't feel like we're ever there yet, type of thing, you know, and I guess that keeps us hungry, you know, the next goal, the next all that. But if I were to be able to tell something to my younger self, man, I'd probably tell me, hey, it's like, believe in yourself, man, because, you know, if you don't believe in yourself, it's like, then who's gonna, man? Who's gonna believe in you, man?
That's powerful.
If you don't hold yourself up, you know, you can't expect others to hold you up.
No, yeah.
You know?
And I think a big thing that comes with that is accountability, bro.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Accountability,
100%.
Because I'd be lying if I if I said I made the same mistake more than once, I mean, who
Yeah.
wouldn't, right?
Yeah.
It's when you become accountable and like, you know what, I did fuck up, and I think I probably shouldn't do that again.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
It takes a lot of resilience and actually a lot of guts to admit what you're wrong, because a lot of people can't do that, bro. Like,
Yep.
you know, um,
Yeah.
and I guess like another because that like bouncing off that question, like
Yeah.
if I were to go back in time and tell myself like I would literally tell myself stop spending too much money on fucking weed. That's probably one of the biggest
Yeah.
things that I don't regret, but I definitely
Could have been doing other stuff with
I
it,
could have been
right?
doing other stuff with it,
You know.
bro. Like you'd be surprised on how much money I've spent on
Yeah.
weed, bro.
No,
Like,
it's
to put a number on it, bro. It's not fun. It's not fun to talk about. But I'm big on transparency,
yeah.
and I'm big on transparency. So, um, what is like one mistake that you feel is like the common mistake in people like on their journey to where they want to get to? That's a big one I did too, because
Yeah.
my mentor asked me that, like, what is one mistake that you feel like is hindering you right now? And I'm like, fuck, what, you're right. There's
Like,
multiple, but
yeah. For myself, my past self, all that, I guess. Like
it's a good one, right? It's a good one.
that
It's a
is.
thinker. It's
Come on.
a thinker.
Repeat that one more time. Wait, hold on. I gotta like fully like.
Yeah. So, what is
process.
one mistake do you feel like keeps coming back, and you feel like, okay, I've been here too many fucking times, and I need to stop making this fucking mistake more than once. We're all guilty of that.
Yeah.
I'm more than 100% sure.
Mm, a recurring problem
I'll
that.
tell you right now, mine is fucking impulse buying.
I guess so. Hey, you know what?
impulse,
That is a portion of mine. I guess you know you're like, oh,
impulse buying is a motherfucker.
yeah, yep,
It is a fucking motherfucker.
Yep.
Man. Fucking, oh my god.
impulse buying is man, that's a
And I think the older you get too, the more you kind of realize, why did I buy that?
yep.
I don't.
It's like you buy it and then it's just sitting on a shelf and you're just like, what am I doing? That's me, bro. Yeah,
I look
that's
at that.
me.
And don't get me wrong. That piece of gear is probably it's really good. It's what it does.
I mean, it looks nice. It looks great.
It's nice. It's just for what I'm doing, it's not ideal.
What am I doing? I guess that's one of the things that I'm trying to teach myself the most too. You know, like it's like, am I going to use it? Am I going to use it in the near future? How is it going to help me? How is it going to benefit me? You know, that's the I guess what I had to change from myself because, you know, my younger
Dude,
days, yeah, it was.
I before the podcast even happened, bro. Like, I almost spent a whole fucking life savings on a whole new setup when I already had everything.
Bro, you got a great setup right here,
I
man.
have
No?
more than enough of what I need. So shout out my girlfriend for snapping me out of it, because I would have fucking.
Hey,
Yeah,
the
I
se-
mean, don't get me wrong. There's some stuff that I feel like I can
oh,
use,
of course.
right?
We can always use more.
But
That's
I
the
mean,
thing.
but it's crazy because I remember talking this about with you. Like,
Yeah.
I really wanted to get in a pocket. Remember that?
Yeah.
But it never happened. Why do you think it never fucking happened? I think this just never lined up. I mean, I don't fucking know. But,
It's just life, man. Life is so I guess so easy and so complicated at the same time, man, that you know, your kid, you know, my kid, I mean, I got sports, I got for my kids, you know, I got everything, all that going on that it just
all the things,
consumes a lot of time.
all the things under the sun that make us,
Yeah,
make
well,
us
that
who we
give
are
us,
nowadays,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
No, so that leads me to my next thing is like a lot of people forget that when you have a family and you're trying to run a business, it's not it's not easy, bro. It's really not. I recently had this conversation with one of my barbers here, and he asked me like, how do I manage everything? And honestly, it's never planned, bro.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, would you agree with life with kids is unpredictable? Would you
Oh,
agree?
100%, 100%, bro. Like he could fall right now, bust his head open, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I gotta go to the hospital. You know, or I gotta go here. I gotta go there. I gotta check up on him.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
or just, I mean, it's very unpredictable, especially if you're actually present, man. Because that's, I guess, in the bigger state
In
we're
the
trying to
greater
do,
life
right?
scheme.
Yeah, in the bigger scheme of life, that's what we're trying to become more present parents than I guess our parents were,
yeah, no.
right?
Speaking of that, I mean, that's another topic we can definitely touch on. Is
Yeah.
I noticed it's a huge trend right now for a lot of people to be cutting off their parents. Like I can testament to that because I have my issues with my parents,
Yeah.
but I mean, what do you think that is? Like, what do you think a lot of
It's
people are?
sometimes I will. The one reason that I feel people might be doing it is I guess the I don't want to say it. It's just
Just
I
say
don't
it.
want to
Just say it.
offend the trauma that they brought on us, man, as kids. Sometimes it sounds like, oh,
Yeah.
trauma,
No.
bro,
Yeah.
bro, cry. No, it's the way they were, the way they are continuing to be that drifts us away from the person we're
Yeah.
trying to
Don't
become.
feel like
Yeah.
trauma is not something to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
We all have it. We all
Yeah.
fucking have it.
Yeah.
We all
You
have it.
know?
We all have it to some degree.
Yeah.
I can say right now that my relationship with my mother isn't the best right now, and it sucks because we often wish we had a parent we often wait too. We wait for our parents to become the parents that we need them to be, and a lot of the times they never realize that,
Yeah.
and then they turn it on us and they're mad at us because, well, you never told me. It's like, no, well, I've told you plenty of
It's
times.
kind of like, how do you change someone that's so set in their ways because whoever taught them life was so set
No,
in their
that's
ways?
a
Yeah.
huge thing, like a huge thing. Like if our parents treated us the way they did, you can just imagine how traumatic their life
Oh,
was.
oh, of course, of course. I'm sure there are better versions of their parents.
Oh,
But
yeah, 100%, 100%. So like I definitely think like now that I'm a parent, like dude, like if I'm being honest with you, like my mother doesn't really know me as a father. So
mm,
whenever I see her, it's always like you're different, or she'll be
you've
like,
changed.
"Oh,
Yeah.
you've changed,"
You don't come
or
around anymore.
yeah, and
Like,
it's like
hey.
like one of the things that I've always like came back to was like, oh fuck, like I really hope I don't regret this the day the big bad happens.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean when I say the big bad,
Yeah.
right?
100% way. It's
And
just, it's,
and and my therapist, told me, you can't let somebody treat you the way they treat you, and let them keep doing it
yeah.
just because they're gonna die. Like
Yeah.
that's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. Like as much
It's
as
crazy. Yeah.
it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
To think about that,
Yeah.
Um, so not like now that I have my own family and I have my business, and I'm growing as an individual and as a business owner. I don't really go around as much as I used to, and then when I do see them, it's like, oh, how you been? It's like it's so weird. Like,
Does it feel like if you give that 2 inches of space for them to become who they become, does it like always like, oh, they're back to what they're trying to
yes,
do?
all the time, all the time, all the time. So like in my family, like it was never like yeah, we told each other I love you, whatever,
Yeah.
right? But it was more so in an act of a favor or an act
There's always something
of a
behind
service,
it.
of a service.
Yeah.
Like it
Behind
was
that
always
word,
like, oh,
it's
have you ate or have you? It was
yeah.
never like that. So like when I started
Yeah.
dating my girlfriend, she's very connected with her
Yeah.
family in a sense
Yeah.
of like, oh, good night, I love you, like. So when her parents told me that, I'm like, hey, what do I say? Do I say it back? I mean, well, do you? I'm like, well, yeah, I love your parents. Like, but then say it. Like, what's
Yeah.
but for me,
It was unnatural. Yeah.
it's unnatural. Not sure if you kind of relate to that a little bit.
Ah, well, I mean, luckily with my parents, it was always like, oh, it was very like the word was I guess the word was like used a lot, a lot, a lot. So almost to the point to where it's like,
It had
oh,
like no weight to it almost.
yeah, no way, oh, I love you, oh, I love you too. All right, see you later,
Yeah, yeah.
But it's so it was like that. Like I could see that, but with you it was different, right?
It was very different, bro. Very different because and now whenever I do get that love from my mom, it's still like I love you too. Like I do love my mom. Don't get
Oh,
me
of
wrong.
course.
Don't get me wrong, but it just feels like shy. Like I'm shy
Like
just
shy
saying
saying
it.
it,
Like fucking
yeah.
shyness to me and shit.
It'll,
But
it's
yeah, no. I definitely think that I'm seeing a lot more, especially on social media. A lot of people are speaking
yeah.
out about their parents and stuff like that. So like, I guess this message for someone like, don't feel if you have traumatic experiences with your parents, like, don't feel like you can't talk about it,
Or you have to put up with them,
or
you know.
that too, that too.
You don't have to be rude about it,
Because
but you can just
bro,
distance
like
yourself,
if I'm being 100% transparent, like in the beginning of when I started dating my girlfriend,
Yeah.
like it was very hard for my girlfriend to come around because she wasn't used to the type of environment, my family was like
almost chaotic.
It was
Yeah.
very chaotic.
Yeah.
It wasn't like violence. Or
No,
anything.
but just
like,
a lot going on at the same time.
Yeah.
Side
I mean, don't get me
stuff.
wrong. Like, there was a lot of stuff going on with my girlfriend's family, and but it wasn't at the scale of mine. Like, it was always like my brothers were always talk shit to me in front of my girlfriend. My girlfriend, what the fuck? Like, she caught the strays. Like, does that make sense?
The verbal stuff, yeah.
Like to the point where my mom would jump in and like, oh, you're fat or something. Like not to my girl.
No, I know, but it's
like
just,
to me or or like
like,
so,
no, but it would be like, damn,
shit,
like that sucks.
Like carilla,
it's pura carilla, yeah.
So my girlfriend wasn't really used to that type of dynamic. So
it must have been very uncomfortable for her then.
It was very uncomfortable for her, bro, and even to this day, she still can't like fully like accept that. She's like, I don't want. And now that we have kids. Yeah. I see that from her perspective now too, because I wouldn't want my daughter being called fat.
Exactly.
Or, and she's like, well, is that how it's gonna be whenever you take them over there? Like, I don't, and I'm out there.
I don't want to expose them to that kind of stuff.
Like, so I'm pretty sure you can relate to me in this sense too, because like a lot of the stuff that my mom does, like to me, it's like. Like I'm already used to that, but but my girlfriend sees it in a different light. She'll tell me like, your mom's doing this, like you need to address it, because if you don't, it's gonna get worse.
Repeating the cycle, bro. That's that's why I guess what we fear the most as parents when we take our kids around, like
yes, and I really grew to really not like the saying, oh, if she's your mom, so you have to, or she's your dad, es tu hermano, es tu mamá, no seas así. It's like, well, what the fuck? She disrespected me. What the fuck you? No, like I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you can't stand for it, man.
I'm not gonna stand for that. Like that's some no. So, but I definitely think that if anybody out there can relate to that, like again, you're not alone. We both have our own traumas with our parents, and would you say you have the best friendship with your family?
Working on it. Working on it 100% every day. It's kind of like I left on. You leave that traumatic experience to become the person you want to become, and then you come back and you visit to let them know, hey, this is me. This is how I am now. It
sucks because that's a double-edged sword.
Oh yeah, it is.
Right, it's a double-edged sword because like on one side it could cut pretty deep.
Oh yeah, it does.
But on the other one it could be like, oh, that's cool. Like oh, I love that for you, but you just never know. Like it can stab both ways.
No, yeah, of course, but it's only what's going on within your family with certain family members, and know, hey, like I'm not gonna let this fly anymore, or if it could be little things, the way that they talk.
I definitely think, especially growing up in a Hispanic household, boundaries weren't.
A thing. Oh yeah, 100%.
Boundaries weren't really a thing because. Like now that I find myself setting boundaries with my mom or my dad or whatever, they don't know how to act. It's like the first time I tried it with my mom, she was like, "No, I'm the parent." It's like, excuse me? I'm 30 fucking years old. Like I wipe my own fucking ass at this point. Like
more
than fucking mean.
More than just wipe your ass, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
You got this going on right here.
I do my taxes. What the fuck do you mean? You're the parent. Like.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. Like, I'm sorry, mom, but you can't do me like that no more. Leave me alone. You know?
Yeah.
But and I know my mom's gonna watch this. Mom, I love you at the end of the day. Like, I'm just speaking on my traumatic experiences growing up and stuff. Don't get me wrong. I do have a bunch of happy memories.
Yeah. Right? Wow. Of course, we all got her. We all got the good
times. I have tons of happy memories with my mother. It's just there were certain things that I remember that were a little traumatic that I probably should never experience. But then again, if you really think about it, though. Do you think trauma kind of makes you stronger as an individual? Like, kind of makes you a little more resilient? Because I know it could do both one or two things.
Yeah, like my girl always kind of like I guess the thing that goes around with her, is they got to be tough. I understand that 100%. Like kid gets his ass whooped. It's something new for me. Like my family's always like, oh, you got to be peaceful. You got to be this. You got to be that. And my mentality was like, oh, I got to be peaceful as I grow up. But no, like there comes a point to where my son is going to get either bullied or whatever it is. And it sucks because, like, what am I going to do? No, son, you got to turn. Like, I love him. I'm mad. I try to be as godly as possible. But no, my son cannot turn the other cheek, man. I cannot just let him, like, take it and do that shit.
No,
so,
of course not.
So in that sense of trauma, you're like, son, get up. go defend yourself. You know, like
Yeah,
it's
no.
just
So
stuff like
it's
that.
funny because
Like I was saying, like my girls, like when I talk to her about traumatic experience, all that kind of stuff, it's different, or things that I see them, put up with, and it makes me realize, like you said, some traumatic experiences do help you become a better person.
yes,
But
yes, yeah,
it's I guess
100%.
the verbal abuse is stuff that we don't want it to
Well,
continue.
it's
You
because
know?
yes, yeah. It's crazy because like there's certain things that we don't want to talk about as adults or not even as adults, but you don't want your friends to know because you're gonna be
Yeah.
embarrassed or whatever
No,
like that.
yeah.
And I think that's what that underlying trauma is what kind of like makes you not want to talk about certain things.
Yeah.
I think now for me as an adult now and like living, with I have two kids now, I definitely see life in through a different lens now, bro. Like to me, it's like I'm not gonna do that to my kids.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing it wrong. If my kids fuck up, I gotta
I
address
guess.
that.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna I'm not gonna call them a pinche pendejo
Exactly. Yeah. Put
or
them down when you don't need to. Right. Like
yeah,
I think that was
you
one of the
know.
bigger traumas that I guess kind of like went through. That I went through
Yeah.
when I was a kid. Being put down for no damn reason, bro. I mean,
Yeah,
feel like less. Like what am I doing wrong? There's sometimes you weren't just doing anything wrong. You just damn like no, cabrón, no
right.
sabes
No,
hacer nada. You know?
exactly, and that's very common
Yeah.
especially in Mexican households.
Oh,
It's very
100%.
very
Yeah.
common, and
Yeah.
I see that amongst like creators online and stuff like that. Like they'll put their life on display, and I'm like, damn, I can relate to that because
Hmm.
um,
That's a,
it's I damn know for sure that whoever posted this is doing some kind of healing because
yeah.
um, but yeah, dude, I guess so. I guess another thing that no one really wants to talk about too is well, the phenomenon of when you choose to grow as an individual, choose to like level up in life. Like no one tells you the type of friends that you're gonna lose, or the
Mm,
people around you that are gonna fall off
hmm.
just naturally, and that ties into family too.
Yeah.
You know, the reason why I bring that up is because when I started, leveling up as an entrepreneur and as a barber, I leveled up across the board, which was shedding a bunch of excess stuff that I didn't need. Whether it be clients that don't appreciate me, friends that don't align me in the same frequency that I'm on, and there's no hate towards that. It's just like, look, dude, like I'm trying to become something better than what I was before.
Yeah.
And if that you don't like that, then that just says more than it does to
Hmm.
me. Um, so I guess what I'm asking is, like, what is your take on that? Like, how would you explain it to somebody? Look, this is just how it happens. Like, this is what happens.
Um. Well, I guess in that process when you're chasing your dreams, man, there's people gonna be, silently, you know,
Wishing your downfall.
exactly wishing your downfall, and then there's gonna be people that uh, truly don't like. They'll come out and tell you and not believe in your dream. Like let's say, whether it's family, friends, or all this kind of stuff, they're just silently like doubting you this whole way, and
It's
it's
pretty.
hard,
It's
man.
hard,
Oh, it's
bro.
hard.
It's
It's
fucking
hard.
hard.
Like you tell, like let's say you confide in someone, you tell them your dream, and then they're like, you're never gonna get, or it's gonna be a hard dream. Oh, you should give up now. Like no, like that's why it was so important, man, to build your mind up and to create that space in your mind where you become your biggest ally, man. It's where you
Yeah,
become your greatest believer.
that's 100%
You
correct and I definitely think that's what happened to me, in the sense of reading all these self-help books and trying
Yeah.
to better myself as an entrepreneur, a
And
better
it's how
businessman.
you use them. It's not just reading it. You can read. I
Yeah,
can read a sign on the wall, man. You know.
1,000% correct because like it's
But
crazy because I'm a firm believer of books do rewrite your subconscious to a
yeah,
certain degree.
they do.
Like there's
Hundred
certain
percent.
things in books that were like, oh fuck, you're
Yeah.
right. I'm not gonna do that no more.
Yeah.
There's just one book that freaked me the fuck out, bro. It's called The Power of Now.
Mm-hmm.
And this book freaked me out, bro. It gave me so much fucking anxiety, bro.
Yeah.
Like it freaked me the fuck out, bro.
Why?
So the book really talks a lot about the here and now.
Yeah.
Whatever you've been through, whatever goals you have, that's all ego.
Yeah.
That's all ego driven. Okay. So what made me freak out was there's this the thing in the book on how it talks about how the mind and the soul are constantly fighting each other for your body. The mind consisting of the ego, your goals, your traumas, your what's it called, your fears.
Yeah.
That's the mind. That's constant. And your souls is the peace. Hold on. Your peace and your. How you doing, man? You come in. You come in. Yeah, you come in.
Come on in.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. And don't feel like that, bro.
Yeah.
Looking for Mikey?
Yeah.
You go ahead, bro. You're good. You're good.
I'm not bad.
No, you're good. I'm in the way. You're good,
This is
bro.
my first time here, bro.
No, you're good. You're good. There's a little chair right there, bro. Yeah, you're good, bro.
Yeah.
But so there's this part in the book where it talks a lot about how the mind and the soul are constantly fighting for your body, whatever.
Yeah.
And how so I think I already said the mind, right? The mind was the ego, the
Yep.
dreams, and that's all ego based.
Mm-hmm.
And the soul is present, peace, and purpose. That's all the soul wants to do. It just wants you. It just wants to pretty much be.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And once it said that, I don't know what it was, but it freaked me out because I'm like, what do you mean? I'm not in control. The fuck do you mean? I'm in control. And like the man was like, nope, no, you're not. You're not. You're really not. You're all day. You're fighting. You're fighting.
The biggest fight, bro, is with your ego. You know, that's the biggest fight, man.
I threw that book across the room, bro.
You're like, what is this? What is
book?
this?
But it turns out I was actually going through a lot in that time. I was going through a lot of healing and a lot of like just traumatic stuff, and I was just and that was one of the first books I actually read and actually changed my life, bro. So nothing else matters but now.
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't
now.
matter your plans in the future. It doesn't matter, everything you've been through. It's like what you said.
Yeah. So, but how I was saying earlier on how like the phenomenon of how people kind of like just talk so much crap on your growth, just because sometimes what ends up happening too, and I know this for a fact, is you're sometimes a mirror to somebody. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like
like you're a mirror to somebody to an extent of like I'm showing you what you could have been.
Yeah.
Or what you can do, but you don't want to do it. That's why I feel like a lot of people hate on, does that make sense?
Do you ever feel like people are mirroring in a way that they're either past versions of you or, like you said, future versions of you, man?
Oh, shit.
Like you're like, you see, like for me, sometimes I've met people that I'm like, that is me, who I would have become if I didn't change this in my life.
That just literally expanded my mind right now, bro. Holy shit.
Yeah, because it's
that makes a lot of sense too. Like in a sense of like how I don't hang around with the same people anymore. Like there's certain friends that I still talk to, but I don't associate with them anymore. Not because I don't want to, but it's just because life gets in the way, or my like
your
you know what I mean?
dreams, your
Yeah,
goals,
yeah. It's
everything.
just we're on a separate like I have no hate towards people that I still talk to, or I think I'm better than anybody else.
No.
It's just I'm on a path or on a frequency that they're over here, but I'm going this way.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be like, oh, they're like I don't mean in any negative way and stuff, but yeah.
Is literally the whole reason why I want to join the podcast because that shit was sick. I like that. I like that. Like people that I used to I'm telling you, bro. There'll be people that I used to hang out with or that I used to talk to or whatever. And they'll bring up old shit that I used to do. Like I don't do that no more. Like
it's not me.
Like
do
you remember you used to smoke this? Like I don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that's not me no more. Like you should smoke cigarettes. You smoke cigarettes. Like bro, it's been like 12 years already, bro. Like are you? He goes, oh yeah, bro. I'm about to go get. I'm like, what? You're still hanging out? What? Really? Yeah, I can't do that, bro. Like I'm happy to see you, man, but I can't. It's not me, bro. And I hate to say this, and I say this so lightly, but I almost cringe a little bit because I'm like, bro, I don't even do that no more. Like, how can you, like I forgot I did that.
Yeah.
No,
well, I mean,
I'm not sure if you've been in contact with people like that.
Yeah. Well, to me, it's more. I guess. For me, I feel like that reflection, for me, it might be a little bit more like. Had I not changed, my habits of anger or my habits of, viewing the way you view the world, I guess, like if you view the world in such negative ways, like believe it or not, man, there's a point in my life where there's a lot of negativity or a lot of negative events were happening in my life, man, and it was pretty impactful, man, and got me looking at everything just as I guess in some sort of just just bad lighting, man. And when you get stuck in that zone, you know, you you, uh, you become someone else,
Yeah,
or you're
yeah,
unrecognizable
yeah,
almost.
yeah, and that literally goes full circle to what
Uh-huh.
we were just talking about, like
Uh-huh.
how our family sees us differently,
Yep.
or how we don't hang around with the same people no more. You can step right in, sir.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm in the way. I'm in the way.
Yeah.
um, yeah, you
Me
enjoy,
too.
man. But yeah, no. It does make full circle on what we were
Yeah.
literally just
Like,
talking
where was our
about.
mind back then? Where was the mind back then, and what if we would have just continued that path? Like, fuck, what if?
Speaking of working hard,
Yeah.
I did so I'm in the season of creating systems and sometimes like I'll forget that I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like sometimes I'm like, oh fuck, I made this much. I wasn't even in that book. Like what the fuck? Like there'll be weeks, bro.
Oh, yeah, I
I'll make
feel
a
it.
good amount of money, and I'm like, dude, I only did like 15 haircuts. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And I'm so accustomed to I have to work hard. I have to bleed for it for me
Yeah.
to deserve it. Sometimes
Yeah.
I feel like I don't deserve it because I didn't work hard for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of people don't become successful because they feel like they have to work hard for. Sometimes you don't have to work hard for certain things.
Yeah.
I definitely think there's certain skills that you can learn that you can literally
That
systemize.
facilitated. Yeah.
You know, I guarantee you, if you take your sales skills and apply it to yourself, you could probably become Maqueda Industries. I don't know. You know what I mean? You know, if that
Yeah.
makes any sense.
No, I know what you mean. I just there's some things I can't talk about.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I know,
yeah,
I know,
yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
For
It's
that
just,
stuff, yeah.
it's just for to
Yeah.
make it, just to make.
No,
It
I 100% agree. And if you set your mind to it, man, the skills you develop in anything you do, man, like whether it's for your work, for the job you're currently in, communication skills, all that kind of stuff, help you build who you want to become or what you want to
There's
do.
this quote by Warren Buffett that I really like, and he says that if you can better your communication skills, you can double your income.
Yeah.
Like you can instantly off if you learn how to
100%.
communicate, you can double your income
100%, man. Yeah.
just by literally learning how to talk. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I have a mouth, I have a voice. The fuck,
Yeah.
I know how to talk.
Yeah.
You know, um,
It's like a deal can't be
that's
done if you don't talk
the
about it,
art of
man.
the fucking, the
Yeah,
art of
yeah.
the fucking deal, bro. Shout out.
Greatest deal ever.
It's the greatest.
Yeah, man. DJT, man.
Yeah,
That's
DJT, bro.
It's just-
Controversially shout
yeah.
him out, right?
But I mean, that book, The Art of the Deal, whatever it is, man.
My brother actually
non-political.
he preaches that book, bro. I'm like, dude, shut up.
Huh.
Like,
I haven't not
he
read it.
loves that book,
Yeah.
bro. He loves it. He's like, aside from him being a political figure, I don't care. Him as a businessman, he's a fucking genius.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, exactly. As was, like we were saying earlier, regardless of whatever it is, it's the truth is what.
It's what people kind of don't like.
Yeah, the truth
So,
and
I was literally gonna talk about something right now. So, full circle on why a lot of people don't want to do what they want to do. Like
Mhm.
another big thing that I recently read too, and this is very controversial. I just read this book called The Art of War.
The Art of War.
The Art of War.
Yeah.
You know it.
Yeah.
So there's this one chapter where it talks a lot about surprisingly Hitler,
Hmm.
and a lot of people don't know this about him, but he was actually obsessed with art.
Interesting.
Like he loved art, and the book talks a lot about resistance and how resistance plays a big role. I'm gonna get back to the Hitler thing.
No.
I promise.
Yeah.
Because I have to. Because
I trust the process, bro. Yeah.
So the book talks a lot about resistance and how resistance plays a big role on why we can't get things done, on why imposter syndrome pops up in your head,
Mhm.
or it tells you.
I think that's one of our biggest setbacks
that's the
on
reason
all of
why
us,
this
man.
podcast never fucking
Yeah.
happened because you're not a podcaster, bro. You're a barber. Shut up.
Exactly.
That's the reason why I didn't want to niche down. But anyways, aside from the point.
Nice.
So it talks a lot about how resistance is a big key thing on why we don't do things or why we can't get things done, and how strong a phenomenon resistance is. So Hitler, back to him, he was actually a huge art fanatic. Like he loved art. He went to college. He has an art degree and all that good shit. But the fact that resistance was so big that he didn't pursue that, he started World War II. If you think about it,
Yeah.
like resistance in his head was that strong that I love art, but I'm gonna start a war instead.
Let's switch careers real quick.
Yeah, but that's it's crazy to think about because it's
Yeah.
like I know what I want to do, and for whatever reason, my mind is trying to keep me safe. That's the big thing is your
Keeping it
mind's
safe, I
always
guess.
gonna your mind will always 100% will try to keep you safe if you let it. Don't let that shit, bro. I'm telling you, do
What's it?
not.
Man, safe is dangerous, man. Sometimes, cause.
Comfort zone will kill you, bro.
Yep. Exactly.
You know,
Yep. Exactly.
I definitely think though, like from where I start. I mean, you've been with me since my first stages at my suite,
Mm-hmm.
and I noticed, and it's crazy because I have constant to prove it. Where I'll go on my photos, and every year I'll see a different like background. I'm like, okay, boom, 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 boom. Every year is different. Every year is like a new improvement.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, bro, like that's so sick to see. And my point to that is like, everyone needs to document their fucking journey, no matter what it is.
No matter how small you might think it is, right?
This is why again, this is why I wanted you to get on the pod because I definitely think you have a voice that you can actually build up and who knows,
I appreciate that, man.
This can be, you be the co-host, you know
I'd
what
like
I mean?
that. That'd be nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Build
host
for more,
people. Yeah.
build for more,
Yeah, that's nice.
That's another reason why I wanted to call it Built for More because I'm an entrepreneur at heart.
Yeah.
At its core, I'm an entrepreneur. And let me put it out there. I had when I had started cutting hair, I had apparel businesses. I tried drop shipping.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? I even tried selling weed too. It didn't work out.
Well,
Didn't work out.
Hey,
I tried what's it called? A content suite that didn't pan out. A content suite like where like I buy the gear and people can just rent the room for the day.
Yep.
I tried that. That didn't work out. For whatever reason, the only thing though that was always there and I knew that was gonna work because I loved it was barbering.
Yeah.
Like that at its core, entrepreneurship and there's barbering. Like those two things are like lovers. If you think about it.
But you know what's beautiful about that, Pac? I feel that people gonna go out there and do things, no matter if they fail, man. Like, had you stopped, what would have become of you, man? Had you stopped after the first failure?
That gave me chills.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Is people are so afraid of failure that they're afraid to do anything,
I
man.
learned at a very young age that you have to fail forward.
Yeah, exactly.
And fail as much as you can.
Learn from it, but be
yeah,
okay from fail. No, of course, yeah. But be okay with that failure. Yeah,
circle,
yeah.
I was saying like how a lot of us we have certain mistakes that we don't fucking learn from, and I believe there's certain mistakes that we do, but there's the big failures though, like entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, like it sucks to fail.
Yeah, it does.
It fucking sucks. I mean, just put it out there. It fucking sucks to fail. Like that's another reason why a lot of people don't want to, ask a girl out.
Yeah.
That's a simple gesture as that.
And probably in our younger years, that's probably one of the bigger things that we're afraid of. But I mean, it's like let's say after the 10th rejection, man. It's like what's plus one?
Yeah. What's the worst they're gonna tell me?
Right? Yeah.
So I had this theory that I know that fucking works. So now when I adopted the Chick-fil-A model, and their model is free or full price. I don't give discounts, like at all. So what I'll do is whenever I go to Target and I see somebody or not just Target, anywhere.
Yeah.
This is why another reason why I don't believe in business cards. I personally, for me, I think business cards are a thing of the past, and let me rephrase that. They're not fully in the past. They still kind of work, kind of. Because I mean, like I guess in a predicament where I'm like, okay, I'm in a rush. Here's my card. I can't take your number.
Yeah.
But
what happens to that business card for the most part? It's I came across a lot of business cards, and sadly, it's
half the business cards that I've gotten from other businesses. I use them as enhancements cards. Like an enhancements card is like when you put like the hair, like yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, so like
what a wonderful place to be.
Exactly. So my theory is, and I've proven it, and it fucking works. And I've gotten clients from this, and I do certainly believe that a lot of clients don't mind paying the price. It's just they don't know you.
Yeah.
They don't
exactly.
Know of you.
Yes.
Of you.
Like, what impression did you leave on them for them to remember your business card?
Exactly. Bro.
Sometimes it even goes beyond that. Like, if they remember you or you made such an impression on them that they want to get your number right then and there.
So my thing is, whenever I go out, and I don't even care if it's Fresno or like they're not in my city.
Yeah.
I've gotten people that were in town for a weekend and they come to me from Watsonville for haircuts off of this theory. So I what I'll do is I'll welcome somebody. I'm like, hey, I'm a barber here in town. My name is Paco. I would love to give you a free haircut. Let me get your number and I'll send you my schedule. It does say $75. The reason why I say that is because that way they know. It isn't say $75.
They know what to expect.
Yes,
Yeah, that's good.
Yes, it does say $75, but I want you to completely ignore that, and just book a day that works for you. It's in the house, and they're like, oh, well, cool, that's dope, yeah, whatever. I do actually need a cut. 9 times out of 10, they'll come in for the haircut, right, and I'll do the best.
Yeah.
I'll do my thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And the reason why I changed that because every single time I do my best no matter what. So they'll pay me. I'm like, no, bro, it's cool. I know, bro, this is the best haircut I've gotten. Here's your money. I'm like, what? I'll be back. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Hell yeah.
Yes.
That's why I know that theory works.
Okay.
You know, I think that's how I got you in the chair too. I think because I remember specifically I was writing something on I was writing a quote down or something on my board, and I was cutting Miguel's hair.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh fuck, like that's pretty cool. And then the next week you booked a haircut.
Oh yeah.
I think that's how it happened.
Yeah.
I think that's how it happened. At the time I was only at $50 too.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, man. Oh shit. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I have certain clients I remember. I remember. So, but yeah, I 100% believe that if you adopt that and take it for what it's worth, I think that can help any barber out, or not just barber in general. You can just go up to anybody, whatever industry you're in insurance, whatever industry you're in. You know, I definitely think that can definitely help.
Once they see your crap, man, that's
sold,
man.
And
they're gonna be sold.
And then what's cool is those clients that I'll do that to, they'll come back and like, oh, and they'll be honest with me too, like, hey, you know what, bro, I can't afford it. Oh, hey, so like it's cool. Like I'm not gonna make it a big deal. Like, well, you know, but I'm here if you need me, you know. Because one of the things I'm never gonna do is give discounts. That's just I'm not gonna do that because to me
it's a never-ending hole, man. You know.
Because to me, I'm pretty much saying if I give a discount or anybody in general, if you give a discount, you're pretty much saying you don't believe in the value you give.
Mm-hmm.
And then you become a fake or it's just a facade or it's just a badge that you. Oh, I charge this much, so you know it just looks cool.
Yeah.
Like no, that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to create profit. I'm trying to create revenue, of high ticket.
Well, that's the value of your time. You know, you want an hour of my time, of my haircut or whatever it is, my skill that I'm doing. It's like that's what the value of your time is, man.
100%. And don't get me wrong, like it wasn't just overnight either. How I was saying in the beginning, like it wasn't overnight, and it just like one day, it's gonna be this much for a haircut.
No.
But I always thought to myself, like one day I am gonna get good enough, get better at my craft, and I am gonna charge what I think is fair for my time.
Yeah.
You know, that goes back to how you're saying, like, this is my time, this is what I've built, you know? But yeah, I definitely think that, in this, 45 minutes, bro?
No.
It's 45 minutes, bro, we covered a lot. I mean, like, what is one thing, do you have any questions so far? Like, as far as, like, anything or the...
Questions?
Funny word, right?
No, it's just, I guess, questions not really, not really questions. I'm just enjoying the conversation, you know?
Right,
so, I like it.
So this was actually ended up being more than 30 minutes, guys. So if you guys stayed this long, I really appreciate you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment what you guys thought of the conversation. Shout out my boy Maqueda, Joey Maqueda, for coming by for this 45 minutes to hang out with me, your host, Paco from Built for More. Yeah. You're not gonna fucking forget that name. I promise you that.
Built for More.
I like that.
That's the spot.
Before we leave, that's the reason why. Another reason why I want to do the pod is because I want people to understand, and I want to make real connections with people. Mm-hmm. First of all, so if anybody out there wants to have a conversation with your boy, just comment down below and we'll make it happen. I promise you. But there it is, guys. I'm your host, Paco. Joy, you have anything to say?
Yeah.
Any last messages?
Yeah, just message. Believe in yourself.
Ooh.
You know, it's as simple as that. You know, don't let anybody cause doubt in the things you believe in that you can do. You know, it doesn't, like Pago said, it's not overnight. You know, you just gotta try. Not be afraid of giving up, man, because
Fail.
so many beautiful things that could come out of it. You don't know if you're gonna be, the next whatever it is that you're crafting, whether you're,
That's
making things from
100%, bro.
home or trying to start a new
Yeah.
business. Don't be afraid to fail, because you next time they start, you start from
Well,
experience.
I know we said this goodbye, but I just
Yeah.
processing in my head. But like, the reason why how earlier you said that you have to learn from your failures, and trust me,
Yeah.
when you fail, you're gonna feel it.
Oh, it's gonna hurt,
It's
but
but just that's the last thing I wanted to say.
get back up.
Get back up and do it. Okay,
Mhm.
but thank you guys for hanging out with us, and I'll see you guys in the next one.